Hi friends, welcome back to Sarah's Next Chapter. My name is Sarah and in this video we are going to be discussing the Odyssey, particularly the new Christopher Nolen film and Odyssey inspired retellings that I have enjoyed and maybe one that I didn't enjoy so much. So we're going to be playing a little game of smash or pass with these Odyssey retellings. So as always, grab your cup of tea, coffee, whatever you fancy, and let's get into it. So before we get into this video, I will do my usual disclaimer, which is I am not a Greek mythology expert. I am simply a fan of the genre, so please give me a bit of grace. I'm just sharing some things that I enjoy, and that's it. So I thought I'd give you a brief overview of what the Odyssey is actually about. So the Odyssey is an ancient Greek epic poem by Homer. After sacking Troy, Odysseus, king of Ithaca, attempts to return home to his wife and son. However, malevolent forces make his journey long and treacherous. He encounters sirens, sea monsters, and the wrath of Poseidon. Odysseus must use his skills and his wit to survive the 10-year journey to get back home. I like to think of the Odyssey as the longest commute ever, basically. That is the simplest way to put it. The longest, most treacherous commute home ever. So there is a new Christopher Nolen adaptation of this story. This Christopher Nolan adaptation has inspired me to revisit some of the Odyssey retellings that I have enjoyed. So I thought we'd play a little game of Smash or Pass Odyssey edition. So first up, drumroll please. It is of course Circe by Madeline Miller. I know, but stay with me. I know I recommend this book in practically every video, but just hear me out on this one, okay? So Circe is... it's what I find really interesting about Circe, okay, is it's like this little part in the Odyssey that Madeline Miller's taken and expanded, like brought into focus for us and expanded the character of Circe, given her a voice, given her a story, fleshed her out a bit more. But in doing so, she's also fleshed out Odysseus a bit more, and I think this is why this is a smash for me. I forgot we were playing Smash or Pass. This is a smash. So yeah, I think we see a really vulnerable side of Odysseus. I think Odysseus is always this really like witty character. He can be a bit sly, he can be a bit cunning, very intelligent. But I think in this retelling we see a different side to him. We see a softer, more vulnerable side to him, and I really, really like that. So that is why this is a definite smash for Odyssey retellings. And I'm going to move on because I know I talk about Circe all the time. I couldn't do this video without mentioning it, okay? The next Odyssey retelling I want to talk about is Odyssey by Stephen Fry. This is definitely a smash, and this I would say is one of the most accessible ones, and if you've never heard much about the Odyssey, if you've not read the Odyssey or anything like that, then I would definitely start with this one. It's a really great introduction. Stephen Fry brings a lot of wit and humour and like a really, I don't know, it just feels really fresh. And as I always say with any of Stephen Fry's books, you need to listen to the audio version because he narrates it, and to me his voice is just perfection. It's like, he's like the white Morgan Freeman. Like that is how good his voice is. For me personally, I just love it. So yeah, that is a definite smash for me. I really enjoyed listening to this one. It gives you a full sort of overview of the story, and I just think it does it really, really well for like a modern audience. So yeah. Next up we have Ithaca by Claire North. Now this is a pass for me. I know a lot of people love this book and I know a lot of people love this trilogy. I've only read this one, so I can't really speak for the whole trilogy. And it's not that I didn't enjoy this book, I just did feel like it went on too long. So this is a retelling about the women that were left in Ithaca. When Odysseus goes to fight, most of the able-bodied men from Ithaca go with him to fight in the Trojan War. So obviously that leaves a whole island of women basically to fend for themselves. Which they do quite well, and it is an interesting story because obviously Odysseus leaves behind Penelope. He is away for, I believe, the best part like 20 years, because I think the Trojan War goes on for 10 years and he's trying to get home for 10 years, so it's a long time. And Penelope is kind of always seen as this quite stoic, devoted wife. So this kind of looks into like what she's going through in this time, because you know suitors keep arriving, her palace becomes very full of these men that feel in some way entitled to her or entitled to the throne in Ithaca, and she has to try and use her wits and her wiles to survive. So while Odysseus is, you know, battling sirens and monsters and trying to survive, she's also trying to survive back home with all the other women on Ithaca. So it is an interesting story. I just did feel like it was a bit too long, and it did lag a little bit for me at times. I did find it a little bit boring at times, so I feel like if it was trimmed down, this would be a smash, but as it stands currently for me, it is a pass. But I would be interested if you have read the whole trilogy to let me know about the other two books. I'd love to know if it gets a bit more fast paced, then I think I'd be interested in reading the other two. And finally, the last Odyssey retelling that I want to talk about is Sweet Bitter Song by Rosie Hewlett, and this is a smash. So this is a sapphic retelling of Penelope, the wife of Odysseus, and her enslaved woman Melantho. Now, I've noticed a bit of controversy, shall we say, about this in the reviews on Fable in particular. I've been seeing a lot of reviews about this. Some people are not liking this as much. Now, I will say I am not queer. I'm not, I'm straight. I am just a simple straight girl. Maybe I don't know as much about like queer literature or queer stories. The criticism I've seen about it online is that obviously Melantho is enslaved, so there's like an imbalance of power. I just think people are struggling with that aspect of it a little bit. I personally didn't. I thought it was done really, really well. This book actually made me really happy. Like, it gave me like warm and fuzzy feelings. Obviously, I know nothing about being queer or being enslaved, so perhaps I'm not the right person to really judge that. But from my standpoint, I did really, really enjoy this book. I just thought, I don't know, I really liked the love story. It just did it for me. I really, really liked it. Odysseus is not in this book a ton. He's in at the start and he's in at the end, but his presence is very much felt throughout this book, and Penelope is constantly referring to him. She's constantly thinking about him. He's very much with her, I think, in this book. So I really enjoyed this one. Those are just some of the Odyssey retellings that I have enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Are you going to go see the Odyssey film in the cinema? Have you read any of these? Are you interested in reading them after hearing me talk about them? Please let me know. And that is it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your Odyssey Girl summer, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!